This is a review of standard 8.EE.7 working with multi-step equations. So for this first problem, I want to find the value of x. Now when I look at the left side, I have a lot of things on the denominator, or the numerator. So before I can find x, I need to get rid of this denominator. I need to get rid of the -5. Since I'm dividing that entire thing by -5, again, I'm always thinking about using the inverse operation when I'm solving equations. So the inverse of division is multiplication. So I need to divide both sides by -5. We can think of this also as -5/1. And be careful on the right side. Again, I have to multiply the entire thing by -5. So we can think of it as if that was parentheses. I'm not just dividing, or I'm not just multiplying the -5 times the x or the -5 times the 3. It's the entire thing. So on the left side, again, when I use inverse operations, my numbers cancel out, and I'm just left with -2x plus 9 equals. Now, we have to distribute the -5 to everything in the parentheses. So if it helps, if you need to rewrite it, it really looks like this. -5 is being multiplied by x plus 3, the whole thing. So I need to distribute -5 times x, which is -5x, and -5 times a positive 3 is going to be a negative or a -15. Now from here, I have 2 variables on both sides and 2 constants. I'm going to choose to move my variables, and I'm going to choose the smaller one. So the smallest value is this -5x. So if it's a -5x, I'm going to add 5x to both sides. So on the left, a -2 plus 5 is going to give me a positive 3x. They were different signs, so I subtracted, and I've got more positives, so it's a positive 3x. Bring down everything else. -5x and positive 5x disappear, and I have a negative, careful about that, -15. Now I need to get rid of the constant, the 9. It's a positive 9, so I'm going to subtract. I'm left with 3x equals, careful with this, a -15 and a -9 gives me a -24. They're like same sign, so I add and keep my sign, divide both sides by 3, and I get x equals -24 divided by 3 is a -8. So get rid of, anytime you have something being divided, a lot of things being divided by one number, get rid of your denominator first. Anytime you're multiplying something with more than one variable or more than one constant, make sure you multiply it by everything on that side. Okay, let's take a look at a word problem. When 8 is added to the number that is produced by doubling the number x, the result is equal to 8 times the number that is 5 less than x. What's the value of x? That's a lot of numbers and words. Read it once. I'm going to go back and take it step by step. So when 8 is added, so I'm going to be adding 8 to something. I'm adding 8 to the number that is produced, so that means it's an answer. So the number that is produced by doubling x. So I know doubling means 2, so I'm going to double x, so 2x, but I have to add 8 to that, so it's going to be 2x plus 8. I can go back and check myself. When 8 is added, all right, I got that there, to the number that's produced by doubling the number x, all right, I got that there. The result is equal to, so that means my equal sign comes next. Change my color. 8 times, all right, I'm multiplying something by 8, the number that is 5 less than x. So automatically I know I'm going to multiply by 8 by something, and I'm going to subtract. I'm multiplying 8 by the number that is 5 less than x. So that means I have to subtract first. I'm not doing 8 times the number. I'm doing 8 times the number that is 5 less than x, which means I'm going to have to put this in parentheses. Remember, if it's less than, it comes second. So 8 times, next to parentheses, that's multiplication, the number that is 5 less than x. So this right here, when I do this in the parentheses, it gives me that number of that subtraction, and then I would multiply it by that x. So take it step by step, word by word, and always go back and check. From here, my left side can stay the same, but I need to distribute on the right. 8 times x is 8x. 8 times negative 5 is a negative 40. Okay, I'm going to move my smaller value for my variable, which is 2x. So I'm going to subtract 2x from both sides. I'm left with 8 on here. 8x minus 2x is 6x. Move my constants now. Add 40 on both sides. Get 48 equals 6x. Divide both sides by 6. And I get x equals 48 divided by 6 is 8. In our last review with equations, I want to know which equation has no solution. So that means x is not going to be, I'm not going to get an answer with x equals something. One with no solutions means no value of x can be put into the equation for the left side to equal the right side. So I just need to take each equation step by step. So for the first one, I would do 4 times x and 4 times negative 9. So I would get 4x minus 36 equals. Now over here, I can combine. I have like terms. I have a positive 3x and a positive x, so that gives me 4x minus my 36. Now when I look at this, I see that the left side is the exact same as the right. 4x minus 36, 4x minus 36. These are the exact same. So if you remember, this type of equation is said to have an infinite number of solutions. That means no matter what value I put in for x, it will always be true. Okay, so let's look at b. b automatically, I know, is going to have a solution because I only have one x on the left side. The x's are not on the right side. This is just a two-step equation. I could solve this. I would subtract 2 from both sides, get 5x equals 23, and then divide by 5. I would get a decimal, but that's okay. It still would give me a solution. So a and b are out. Let's take a look at c. I got to distribute first, so 2 times 3, x is 6x, and 2 times 4 is 8. I can combine my like terms. I have a positive 4 and a negative 12. My 6x, there's nothing to combine. A positive 4 and a negative 12 is going to give me a minus 8. Okay, so when I look at this, I see that I have the exact same amount of x's on both sides, but my constants are different. I have a positive 8 and a negative 8. That's different up here. Up here I had the exact same constant with the sign. This equation right here is said to have no solution. Because let's say I wanted to get rid of the 6x. Let's say I got rid of it from this side, which means I would have to get rid of it from this side. 6x minus 6x is 0. I'm left with a positive 8. 6x minus 6x is 0. I'm left with a negative 8. Positive 8 will never equal negative 8. So this equation has no solutions. So C is our correct answer. So infinite number of solutions means the exact same thing is on the left side as it is on the right. One solution means we can solve for x, there'll be only one x, and it'll give us a number. No solutions means we have the same variables, same amount of variables like this, but our constants are different. So my variables would cancel out, but my constants would be different, so therefore they'll never equal each other.